Welcome to Our Drummers Musicians. I'm your host Luke, and today I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with the incredible Kylie Auldist. Kylie is one of Australia's most celebrated soul and funk vocalists, best known as the voice of the Bamboos, as well as featuring with Cookin on 3 Burners and putting out her own music. Of course, she became a global sensation when this girl, the Kungs v Cookin on 3 Burners remix, skyrocketed to number 1 in multiple countries around the world and ranked up over 1 billion streams. In this episode, we talk about the ins and outs of the music industry, bars, bands, rights and royalties, and what it means to be a headliner. We also discuss songwriting, collaboration, and the challenges of staying in the industry long term, including what it's like being labelled old in a music scene that's always chasing the next big thing. This was such a fun and insightful chat. Kylie had me laughing the whole way through. I hope you enjoy. Kylie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. This feels really weird. No one ever wants to talk to me about anything.
Oh my gosh, no one ever wants to talk to you about anything.
No, I do. I'm lying. I actually just did an interview in Broken Hill the other day, which was interesting. Yeah. Am I loud enough?
Yeah.
Close enough?
Do you want a bit more?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm used to being right on the microphone. I was just lying to you then. But when I've told people about the name of the podcast, they're all like, well, of course they are. I'm like, I know. And I was walking with my friend this morning. She's like, why didn't they ask Reggie to do it? He's a drummer. I'm like, well, it's my turn.
Yeah. You've got to have a turn, right? And because apparently no one wants to talk to you.
No.
So what is it that you most want to get off your chest? If you had the platform to talk about anything all the time, what would it be?
Oh, God. Probably just myself. Yeah, no. I mean, I am getting a bit annoyed about, lots of things because I'm getting old, and my husband and I were laughing about how we go walking and we're like, oh, look at that hole. Somebody could fall down that hole. We should report it. I find myself calling the council a lot now and saying, oh, look, somebody's left rubbish over there. It's blowing onto my nature's tube.
That must be an interesting perspective change to suddenly notice yourself doing these things that you didn't really care about before.
I know. I'm like, I pay my rates.
Do you have a good counsel?
I have a great counsel.
Excellent.
Because I a lot of the times I found myself, I have 2 sons and they've both left home now, but when they were living at home, I'd find myself regularly thinking that perhaps somebody would help me, and then calling the council and saying, I am very sorry, I live in a home with 4 able-bodied persons and yet nobody has taken the rubbish out. Could you please help me? And they're like, yes, Kylie, we'll come and get it for you. So they're very kind to me,
Excellent.
In the absence of helpful children.
Yeah, what's that like, going from big family home and, being a mother for so long and then suddenly not having the kids in the house and they're off doing their own things?
Awful, and I keep on cooking my husband and I huge meals. And trying to drag my son and his girlfriend over for meals more than they want to come.
Well, we should highlight your son, the drummer, Reggie, right?
Yes.
What's the name of his band? I've just blanked on it. Steppers.
Yes.
That's it. I saw you posting about them just the other day and I was like, oh yeah, I should send him a message and see if he'd be keen to.
Yeah, definitely. If he has a minute. He's crazy.
So busy.
He's just about to go on the road. Remember that?
Yeah.
The road.
Wow.
To Sydney and do some gigs in Wollongong and Thirroul and all that sort of stuff.
Cool. So
that's pretty amazing. And they've just finished a residency at Shot Kickers. They had a different support band every week, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing really well for themselves. Reggie's been singing. He sang a couple of songs with the Bamboos.
Sick.
Yeah, that was really nice. And, recorded and sang and wrote, the songs himself, which is, already starting way further ahead than I ever did.
Yeah, because do you write songs?
I do, yeah. I write with the Bamboos and stuff, yeah. But there was a time when I would just turn up and sing the songs that they had written. And I was like, I had enough of that, so.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, because, I've been a massive fan of yours for so long.
That's nice.
And, your voice is just, so incredible. But what's that journey been like for you, coming in as, a featured singer and guest and then, becoming part of the band? And where do you, draw the distinctions for the different, I guess, if we stay focused on the Bamboos, when is it, the Bamboos and Kylie Auldist, or like featuring Kylie Auldist versus
Yeah,
you're part of the
my
band?
first album was with the Bamboos. Actually, I sang with the Bamboos on Rawville, as in one song that I didn't write, and that was I Don't Want to Stop. And then after I did 3 songs with them or 4 songs with them at Meredith the first time, and then we went on tour, and then I sort of became part of the Bamboos. But I also was asked to do a solo album by True Thoughts, and so that was nice. So that on that album was called The Bamboos featuring Kylie Auldist, and that was sort of like introduced me to the world as myself. And then I went off and did my own albums, and that was separate to the Bamboos. But so then I was having my own band, and then they just said the Bamboos, and it wasn't featuring Kylie Auldist anymore. There was a lot of different singers all over the time. So anyway, it just sort of seems that now, I don't even know how many years. How many years is it if I say I started in 2006? I think it was.
2024, so that's almost 30?
Good work, young man. Do the maths, please.
2006. Oh, no, sorry. Almost 20.
Almost
18
20
years.
Okay, good. So so that's how long I've been in the Bamboos. So I'm part of it. So I'm just I'm just one of the regular moving parts of it. So they don't need to say my name anymore because everybody pretty much knows I'm going to show up. I guess that's how they see it.
Awesome.
And also, Lance and I worked out that we were really good at writing together. And so we started doing that. And, that's just been a working combination now. I mean, obviously he goes off and does a million other things. Like, for instance, he's done 4 albums this year off his own back.
Wow.
Because he's just amazing and prolific and, all sorts of things that he can do. I, on the other hand, I don't know. I'm doing my own album with my band, which is amazing. But yeah, I love writing with Lance, and I love being allowed that, just to be able to go into a room and be allowed to have that space where you fly to the moon about it, and just go, what can we make? And it's so nice.
What is it about Lance that you like working with?
Well, I guess we know each other really well, and you need to be able to trust each other when you're in a space like that, because you're basically undressed, you're like showing each other your most embarrassing parts, just going, what about this? And they're like, no way, you can't say that. You have to be able to let go of, your embarrassment of all the things you want to say.
Yeah.
And because, a lot of the times when you're writing a song, you're hiding yourself from your mother, your partner, your children, because I really respect a person that can write a song that is just bare bones out there, because they're not afraid of embarrassing themselves or of exposing themselves, which I am.
Right.
I'm highly embarrassed about that. So I do spend most of the time doing old-fashioned poetry, trying to hide the message, because I'm like, I want to write about how I hate my neighbor, and then I'm like, but I can't say that because they might find out, So then you have to put it into a puzzle, which rhymes, which I find fun because I like games, and yeah.
Do you think also you're making soul music and some 80s inspired disco stuff, there's a bit of a masking just from the stylistic nature of it too? It's not a really moody.
It's not punk. Yeah. So it's not folk. So realistically, it's ABC, ABC, maybe C again. It's not rocket science. And I remember Lance telling me, many years ago, look, I'm just going to show you how to write a funk song. And then it went da-da-da, it's like a joke. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And that's the end of the song. It's not that hard. Say the same thing a lot of times, play some bass, it's done.
Wow. I guess it's all just left to how it makes you feel at the end then. And the structure's so simple. It's you guys are great because you pull it all out, all the emotion, all the
I guess
the dancing
it's capturing
vibes.
an essence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's capturing one butterfly and making it fly around the room. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's it's just a little idea that it's a little bit of magic. And the thing, I guess that thing is there with Lance and I. There's a bit of magic that we seem to be able to capture. And it's to do with musicality as well as a sense of fun, and understanding basically that funk is from blues, and it's all from the same place. Even if I'm doing 80s dance, boogie, and all that sort of stuff now with my band, it's still very much bass driven and beat driven, which is it comes from the ground up. which is, I don't know what I enjoy. I enjoy the beat and the bass and all that sort of stuff. And and like when you remember back in the day when, like, what was her name? Dusty Springfield, was it? She was doing the stuff with, they started using the older women on the new dance beats.
Oh, right. Yes.
That sort of, they had the real old-fashioned sound, but the new sound beat, which I loved. It was just like, so meaty.
Yes.
And that's kind of what we sort of, I started with the Bamboos when I was like 35, so I was already old in music, so I've always sort of been the old person forever. And I've always been a mum.
Not that old. And you're not that old now.
In music, 35 is extremely old, and I had already a 10-year-old kid at that point. So, it's like I was like the oldest person anyone had ever met. And especially because most people who have kids, they have to give up music. So, Reggie, poor little Reggie, had to come along with me on so many journeys, and when he said he wanted to be a musician, I was like, oh, no. Why would you do that? But unfortunately, he's very talented and I have to support his decision.
Well, how did it feel for you then, being like the older person in the scene? Like, did that...
It was great because I was just
you?
the boss of everybody.
Yeah, okay.
I was like,
nice.
I am not your mother. I will not do anything for you that I don't feel like doing. But I am also, because you get there when there's a lot of boys and it's just me. It's like they think that you're going to do jobs for them.
Right.
It's like, you fall into the mother role very quickly and very easily. But no, they're all good boys. And then they decided to be my brothers instead of my sons. So that was good.
Nice. So how did you manage to, hold on rather than letting... just all the other parts of life like take over, but actually maintain your singing career all the way through?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe. But there was a lot of times when I couldn't go as far as I wanted to go, or there was a lot of time when I decided I wasn't going to be that ambitious because I would rather stay home. Right. There was a lot of chances that I didn't take because I wanted to be with my family. Also, I got married to Brett, who was awesome when Reggie was 4, and he was really helpful. So, he was a really good dad and he looked after Reggie, and then we had another son, Jimmy. And so, he allowed me to do that, really. You need a benefactor, you need a support. Yeah. You can't do it. I tried to do it on my own as a single mother for a long time. It was pretty much impossible. I would work, all night and day and then pay all that money to a babysitter or, sometimes find people who would do it for me, but... I didn't have any family in town, and Brett didn't have any family in town, so he had to help me. But yeah, and we had good friends that helped as well, Felix and Haley. But yeah, I don't know. It's been really hard, and I had to take my kids to sound check. They hate sound check. But they don't mind the backstage thing. I've had some funny stories, like going to St Kilda Fest where I had to basically fight with the bouncers to let my kids side of stage. Okay. And then I was on the big screen swearing at the audience because they were, doing circle work or whatever they call it, circle of death in the front.
What's that? Like the mosh thing?
Yeah, and there's little kids in the audience, and I was just like, "Oi, fucking settle down!" And everyone was like, "Ah!" But anyway, I finally look over and my son's side of stage, not interested in what I'm doing at all, which is headlining St Kilda Fest, and he's leaning over with his face over a bowl of M&Ms, just eating them. Like, rightio then.
Yeah. Priorities.
Yeah. I fought to get you in here and you don't care at all. You're just like, this is what it's all about.
Well, what was it like for you? If I can go like right back to like the very beginning of music for you, was there like a moment where you realized, that you could sing, or like an album that, someone put on that you just absolutely fell in love with?
Well, I guess when I was little, I always sang along to music. I loved it. I never shut up, and that was kind of good that I lived in the middle of nowhere out north of Broken Hill, because I was just always singing and I loved it. And I couldn't stop it. And I only listened to ABC radio or whatever they had to offer, and my parents' record collection at that point. But I think I sort of have these sort of memories of when me and my friends were a bit older, and I did this karaoke, and I was so bad at it. Like, I don't know, like for some reason, like I think it was because I didn't understand about choosing songs that were in wrong key for you, Like,
okay.
I just thought that I could just sing everything and then it would be fine. But then you choose a song and you can't get to some parts, and it was like, oh, what do we do here? It was horrendous. Anyway, I thought, okay, that was bad. So then I found that you could sing with your own voice. You didn't have to sing. I did a lot of years singing covers and that, but it was hard because you have to choose songs that don't have the high parts, because I don't have really high voice. And then I found I was singing along to I still haven't found what I'm looking for, with the some guy played on the guitar, and I was singing, and it just came out, and I was belting it out, and my friends were like, Jesus Christ, what's that about? And I was like, yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it? And then at one point, my friend said, I think you could be a singer. And I was like, really? And then Felix said, come and do this, and we went and did a gig or something. Anyway, we sang at somebody's wedding for a minute, and then he said, I want to show you. He gave me the money, and he was like, I want to show you what it's like to get paid for singing. And I was like, oh my God, and they gave me so much money, I was going to do it anyway. It was so interesting to me that people would give me money for singing. Because I just can't stop it.
Well, so what was the journey like from covers then to singing backing vocals with Renee Gayer and Jimmy Barnes?
Oh my God, that was, Renee was frightening. So of course, that was great. And I was lucky enough to work, all the backing vocalists that she worked with was so great, they had to be great. Mm-hmm. And they were really helpful to me as well, and teaching me, like Susie Ahern, she was amazing. I remember saying to her, I thought you gave up singing with Renee. How come you came back? And she goes, I'm on medication. I was like, I guess she was joking, but it was like, she just really, it was hard work.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, how does this work? Is that me? Sorry, I'm doing that. Yeah. She's like, okay, just it's going to be like we're doing slalom, like we're skiing downhill. You just got to watch her mouth and hold on. Let's go. Because she would just change the song midstream. She would just decide, I'm doing something else. And then you just have to know it. And if you got it wrong, it was like, what's that about? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But that was like going to school for me, I needed that. I really did, because I just thought I knew everything and I just didn't know anything.
Wow. I
still don't know lots of things, I can't even read music, for God's sake.
Well, reading music's not everything. You can make it.
Yeah, not true. Well, I can't play an instrument. That's a bit rude too. I love bass, and I've tried so hard, and my friend Felix has tried really hard to teach me, and I feel like because all my friends are so good at it, I feel jealous, and I want to be able to be as good as them straight away.
Yeah.
And I'm so competitive that I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, you need your 10,000 hours, but just in a chip, so you can just plug it in like the Matrix and just catch up to everybody else, right?
And when does a mother get to sit in her room for 10 hours a day?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's 5 hours a day for 10 years, and then that's 10,000 hours. Who's got time for that?
Who has that time? I know, boys. And that's our fault.
Well, once you survived your traineeship with Renee, where did it go to getting into making your own music rather than just singing for other people?
Well, I had already been doing that a bit, with some bands, with Curtis Late. I was writing songs with Curtis Late, and that was back in the day with Dan Knight.
Oh, cool.
And then I was writing songs with Heavy Earth, and but I only sort of really got serious about it when, I was saying to my friend one day, oh God, I just never thought I'd be able to write a song. And he goes, well, you just wrote 20, so I think you're doing it now. I'm like, I am.
Well done.
Thanks. But I've always been a collaborator. I've never actually written a song from start to finish with the music,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I do the melody and I do the lyrics over top of it, which has blown my mind as well, because people have sent me music from overseas and I've never met them, and then I just write, a little ditty over the top and send it back, and that's a song.
Mm.
Which one year, my favourite one was All Show by Aldo Vanucci, and he sent it to me, and that's been turned into a song now. It's called All Show. We changed it to the Craig Charles Show for Craig Charles because he loved it. And then but I remember it took me a year. It was just a ditty, and it took me a year, and then I finally did it, and then it took me 15 minutes, and I was like, why did I wait so long? And luckily he waited for me, and it was really kind, but that sort of made me feel like, people go, well, you can't push it. Then I realized that you can push it, because you go into a room with Lance and all of a sudden you've done 10 songs, because he gets a sharp stick out and he's like, come on, I'm like, okay.
I guess that's like the benefit of like the collaboration experience rather than just being on your own. Sometimes
Yeah, I will just go, no, I really, like Reggie's come over to my house one night and he's going, Mum, where are you? And I'm underneath the bed, dusting, vacuuming. And he's like, what are you doing? Ah, you're supposed to be writing a song, aren't you? Oh. Just get on with it. I'm like, I can't until my chi is clear.
So what's your process like then? Say when someone sends you a track, what are you thinking about? Are you waiting like for a moment of inspiration?
Yeah, which sometimes it just doesn't come, which is, but then I've sort of realized that that's not an excuse. You have to force it to come. And I know it's so terrible. And it's like, sometimes I do yoga videos and she says, good on you. The hardest part is showing up. And it's so true because like I know if I force myself to go into that room and sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil, something will come out. And it will. If I plug my stupid computer in and plug my stupid microphone in and sit there, it will happen. I know I walk around the room and I look at the room and then I go over there and there's the cupboard that needs folding and that needs that. No, some of the room's still there. The door's slightly more open. Like, just to sit on the friggin' chair, man. I'm mental about it. So, but I know, and when I do finally sit down and then I send something off to somebody and they'll go, most of the time they'll say, that sometimes people won't even get back to me because they just didn't like it all. They'll go, they're looking for 100 people to do something, top lining is that sort of way. But sometimes it's so funny to me that, I'll do something which I don't know, like I'll listen to the music and that suggests I do the melody first and then that, the melody suggests to me what sort of rhythm it is, what sort of words would fit there. And then I find one word and that just makes a story for me. I don't know. But sometimes then I send it off and they're like, oh, we love it. I'm like, oh, really? It's crazy. But and some guys came from Lincoln Room. I just put out a new song with them the other day. And it was so nice because they came down to Melbourne and we went into a room together and we sat there for I said, I can't do more than 3 hours because I won't cope. So we just sat there for 3 hours and we workshopped it and it worked.
Nice.
And it really is a great song. And I was like,
yeah,
see, if I'm forced, I can do it.
Interesting. So like with time, have you gotten better at, like how quickly maybe it comes from that like, oh, there's a word that's interesting and, it took you like hours and now you can just like sit on it for a few minutes when you're in that high pressure situation? Yeah,
it does. I mean, like, all the Bamboos albums will attest to that because we have done them, like my albums, because I'm allowed to take more time, which, nobody pushes me because it's my band. It's taken 2 years instead of 4 months, which the Bamboos albums took. But there is also that thing where I want it to feel magic and I don't want it to feel cookie cutter. And I know I've written so many songs now that I don't want them to start sounding the same, like even though, look, AC/DC sounds, every song is the same. U2 is the same. Ain't broke, don't fix it. I get it. Coldplay, all that. But I don't want it to feel like work. I don't want it to feel like it's just like, there you go. I don't know. That's... Sometimes it starts to feel like work and you're like the magic's gone and then you're not respecting it, So I just need to back off a bit from that. I don't want to just be, it would be nice to be like Sia and be able to do that. That's next level amazing. But yeah, I just don't know how to do that. And I think it would just look like I was being naff if I tried.
Yeah, interesting. So what do you prefer, doing your own thing or doing, like the band?
Oh, I love both. I think I couldn't do it if I just could have just one. Because if I was just me and my thing, I would feel like I wasn't... I sometimes feel like I'm not getting anywhere, like I'm not... If I'm not being pushed, and it's nice to have somebody to come in and go and crack the whip on me. So, yeah, because I am a procrastinator. So
when you get like a top line request, are you doing the whole vocal production yourself?
Well, that's, yeah, I guess. No, Woz helps me because he takes it in and tunes me up or, makes sure that, I don't know, he just really helps. He's got a really good ear. Warren Hunter, who's, my collaborator as well, he's got a really good ear. And so, and I'm also not very good at Logic or GarageBand, so I'll just send things where I can't. I was like, can you please help me with this? And then he'll just check it and then we'll send it off. And then so that we just send it all dry, I suppose, and then they just work their magic on it. And that's a good thing with a lot of top lining dance tracks is that you just send them like They just want the same line. Like they'll just find, you do 100 things and they'll find one thing in there that they love and then they'll repeat it. And they use it to like, you know, like a bag of lollies. They just put it where they want.
That's an interesting way of putting it, like a bag of lollies.
Yeah.
How do you go with the like relinquishing of control over that? Like where you just send them something and they could pick anything from.
Yeah, sometimes they send it back and I'm like, that's gross and it's out of tune and I don't really want to put my name to that. I mean, you know, like you've chosen the worst bit. It's like when someone takes a photo of you and then puts it up and you've got your eyes half closed. Yeah. You know, like really? This is a representation of myself. My name is going to go on it. So, you know, I can't have that. You know, yeah. So I don't let them, they're not allowed to make it ugly.
So do you keep like some kind of, like, I don't know how it works with like ownership or...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I must, I mean, I feel like, you know, remember that thing where someone said, Elle Macpherson was like, I only read things that I wrote or something. I don't know. But yeah, no, absolutely. Because there's so much stuff out there, and I already learnt my lesson, you know, with this girl, you know, that big song that I sang on, and that went like over 1 billion streams, and I didn't write that. So I mean, I still get neighbouring rights, which is so lucky. But realistically, if you're going to sing on something, and my voice is on so many things, and so many people can just rip me off if they want. So thankfully for that law, that means that whenever my voice is heard, I get something. But yeah, I mean, in the end, it's my voice is like I own it, you know. I should have something, but yeah, I don't want to sing on anything anymore if I'm not writing it or owning it in some way.
Yeah, sure. Can you explain what the labour rights is? That's different to songwriting.
What is
the labour rights?
Neighbouring rights.
Oh, neighbouring rights.
Neighbouring rights is this fantastic woman. For good neighbour rights. Now I've gone a bit blank right then. Susan Cochin. She's amazing, and she gets me money from all around the world. She'll go out and find, you know, who's been playing Kylie songs, and they'll be like, "Oh, we have," and she'll like, "Okay, well, you have to pay for every time." So and that's what, not just singers, like any musician. If you sing on a song and it goes viral in any way, or goes anywhere, or goes on a movie or anything, even if you've been paid a session fee for it, you still get money for that.
Wow.
Yeah. So so the people for you know, like for the folks at home, you got to sign up to PPL and PPCA. I can't remember if that's right. Yeah, one's in UK because the Bamboos had a UK label for a long time. There's a lot of music circulating around Europe and all of that, and those people collect that money for us.
Okay.
And so, you know, people that are in the band that have never written any of the songs, they can still make money out of that.
Right.
Which is really helpful.
So that's separate to the like mechanical rights and the songwriting rights. There's like a third.
Yes. So it's for I think PPL. I don't know what it stands for. We could look it up right now, but it's for like phonographic. It's like recorded, recorded music. So if you know whatever you hear on that recording, like I can hear the drums, I can hear the guitar, and I can hear the bass. I can hear, so all of those people can get some money from that business, from that entity, and so that's been helpful with this girl. But yeah, like it seems pointless to me to be singing other people's songs. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that would do that without asking for some sort of publishing or mastering or, you know.
Yeah. Master
rights or something like that, because what are you doing it for? Somebody's making a lot of money, and it's why shouldn't it be the artist?
That must be so challenging to see that, like it's you singing the song, but you're in that like removed state, and it's not. I was thinking of like, you know, the documentary 20 Feet from Stardom.
Yeah, I love that.
And I can't remember the singer's name, but she was like
Darlene Joy, Love, Darlene Love.
Yes.
Yeah, Darlene
and
Love,
it's like, oh, like the songs, but it's like I don't even have like my name on it.
Yeah,
whereas
it was disgusting.
Yeah, it's outrageous. But crazy for me to hear that you're like, oh no, like I'm singing it, but I still don't have like any ownership in it.
No,
it's just like a fee for your time in the studio.
Yeah.
Regardless that it's been, like literally with this girl, it's been streamed over 1 billion times.
And I mean, even the guys who wrote it aren't billionaires, you know, so like where's all that money going? I mean, I stopped reading all those emails from, you know, Worldwide Music or whatever tells you how much all the people are making in the world from music.
Oh, yeah.
It's not musicians.
No, it wouldn't be.
No.
It's too upsetting.
Yeah. It's very disgusting. So, anyway, but that's helpful for people to know. I mean, I know of people that have played on some big songs out there and they didn't realise until they signed up to that and got good money.
Yeah,
for that.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I have to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's really worth it.
Yeah, that's
Especially
awesome.
like if you're a session musician and you don't really. I was reading. My friend was telling me the other day that he was listening to somebody talk about being a touring musician for like what's her name, Lauryn Hill, and that basically that was only like it was so many weeks out of your life, out of every year, and only ending up with probably like $100,000 or $150,000 for the year, and you have to do that. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And so and that's all you're doing. So if you are on an album out there and it's playing somewhere like because a lot of, like for me, when I look at the figures, a lot of my songs are playing in Greece or Japan,
Right.
or Brazil. And if I didn't have these companies going out collecting it for me, I'm not going to know.
No. Yeah, because how would you?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
wow.
like you can't be across all that.
So what's it like going between, say, like these periods where your songs are getting heaps of plays, or the Bamboos or yourself are headlining a festival, but then you're also doing local gigs, like I saw you down at the Union Hotel just in Brunswick.
Yes, you know what? I love that. I did that because after lockdown, I was kind of annoyed by, obviously everything fell down, but I was kind of annoyed that a lot of venues don't want to pay musicians, and they don't want to do gigs. They want to charge $17 for a pint, and they want to charge $50 for a steak, but they don't want to pay any of the musicians that are making the people come there for said beer and said steak. So I was like, okay, so the government gave them all these grants for $200. They were saying you need to pay your musicians $250 each. So like Music Victoria, people that worked all that out, that basically you should be paying musicians $250 minimum. And they were all like, oh, we'll go broke. I was like, oh, for God's sake, I will show you that you will not go broke. So I went in there, I said, give me your $250 a head and I will do a gig for you. And then we broke it. We broke the pub and they had to shut the doors. And because all my fans are so tight, they came to my free gig. But it was lovely because it's, I just want to show people that you can do this, Everyone doesn't have to be such a friggin' tight ass, and I don't need to be getting, I need to be paid. Yeah, sure. But realistically, I'll show you what it can happen. And next time you pay me better, because you had to turn people away. You'll be right. You can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting, like in Australia, where so much of the music is, like you say, in pubs where it's connected to revenue from like food and drinks that musicians are bringing into places.
They never share that money.
Yeah, it's not like it's like they rely on each other, but like the money's really only going one way.
Yeah, and they get all this money for that. And like when the band stops, the people leave. So can you not see that they came here to drink your beers and eat your food? Oh no, they only came here to drink our food and to eat, to drink our beers and eat our food. So it's like they would refuse always to share their bar money with the band. And so, okay, well, if you can't even say that you're going to give us like, $250 a head for a band, well, and while you're making all that money, then I think you're being, unrealistic and rude.
Well, we've been playing a little game on the podcast where I get each guest to ask a question of the next guest.
Oh.
So I got a question for you from special guitarist Ben Edgar.
Oh, Shredgar. I love Shredgar.
Dear mystery podcast person, question for you is, what reasons would you say no to a gig?
That's cute. Go, Ben. What reasons would I say no to a gig if they were rude? Which there's a place that I'm not probably going to say, but they annoyed me. Probably for monetary reasons or because I said no to a gig because I was going to visit my friend because she'd cleaned the bathroom. Yeah, so I was
That needs more explanation.
okay. Well, I was doing Hogmanay in Scotland. Okay, so I'd done my gig and pretty much nobody came because they'd made people pay to get inside and they didn't know who I was, this, that, and the other, whatever. But they said to me, to make it up to you, can we please get you to come and sing on the main stage tonight, and you can sing to 700,000 people, you know? And I was like, well, I've already got tickets to go visit my friends in England, and they've cleaned the bathroom. And, you know, they were like, oh, we'll bring them up here and you can meet Mark Ronson or whatever his name is. And I was like, well, they don't want to come. And, you know, and I'd woken up that morning and my friend's daughter had been given a terrible thing that she had brain cancer, and the whole of Australia was on fire. And I was just like, you know what? At the end of that gig, even if I've sung to 700,000 people, I'll be alone, you know, and I won't have anybody that loves me, and I need to be with people that love me. So I'm just going to say no to that, and I'm going to go be with people that I love. So, yeah, that's why.
Wow. I guess it shows, like, your values, though. Like, and like you're saying, like, you're prioritizing family at different stages of your career over, like, just whatever, you know, the next big opportunity is.
Yeah.
Because, like... yeah, you're singing to 700,000 people, but necessarily what does it
whatever
get you?
do they don't care about me. You know, at the end of the day, I'm going to be alone, and it's going to be New Year's Eve, and, you know, yeah, and I'm on the other side of the world, and this is one of my best friends who I only ever get to see when I'm on that side of the world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to happen otherwise, you know, like I would just be there in my hotel room. Like, you know, I heard Kylie Minogue talking about that, you know, it was her birthday and she came home from a gig hoping to get a message from somebody. Then she realised everybody that she cared about was with her, and she hadn't got any friends anymore because, you know, she's working all the time. And it's like, do you choose work all the time? Like, come on, man. I don't even care about it. What next is next is next is next is next. Then you're at the top. Yay! Now what? Oh, nobody's here with me, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What's it like then when you finish a gig, when you're on like that gig high, especially like, you know, you're the front woman, so you've got so much energy and interaction going on, especially like, you know, with the dance music, but then it all ends and you still got to go home to, you know,
yeah. Well, most of my
live
life,
a normal life.
Most of my life, I would just get wasted and stay out all night. I mean, you know, like I've always got the band to party with, and I'll go to the merch desk for a good hour and hang out with people who want to just chat and say hi, or, you know, get me to sign their boob or something, you know, like it's always still, it's a nice thing and I love it, you know. I just always like to have a drink after the show or chat to whoever's been there. Sometimes I get pissed off with places that kick everybody out real quick. Because, yeah, they've got that pent-up energy. I want to party. I need to have an after... And sometimes my husband will be like, where have you been? I'm like, I was having an after-work drink. But, you know, there's less of that now. I get tired and I like to go home. I, you know, try to drink less and try to go home earlier, and, you know. But, yeah, it is. It's great fun. It's really nice. It's such a fun thing to do. It's such a great release.
So why do you choose to make music in Melbourne? Like... you could literally make music anywhere in the world.
You're right. I mean, my husband said, do you want to go live in England? And we could do it there. And I was like, well, you know, my mum's here, my family's here. I don't know, like, you have to go find a band. A band's like a family. I've only just found a band that I love, you know, like that loves me back, because it takes so long to stop, you know, playing with people that are just in it for themselves or trying to get something from you, or I don't know. It takes a long time, and I don't really... I guess I don't like being alone. That seems to be a theme, doesn't it? You know, like I like my crew. I like my community. And, yeah, I think I don't like traveling that much. I mean, as much as I do it. But, you know, when people from other countries have different ways of being and different ways of thinking and different ways of communicating. And when you finally learn to communicate in music, I know it's like all around the world, music is the same. But I don't know. I just felt like it would take me so long again. I felt like, as I said, I already felt like I was old, and I felt like I'd be old again by the time I found a new crew, you know, to make music with.
Would you want to travel and do more like top-lining touring, where you'd go out and sing live a bunch of the stuff that you do features for? Or do you like the, you know, making live music with your mates and band, and like the recorded music is... you know, nicely kept separate?
Yeah, I think, I mean, sure, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just, it's one of those things where, you know, if you're going to go over and do it, you have to make sure it's paid for a bit. Like, and you can't ever make sure that it's going to be paid for. It's just one of those things, like, you know, you're throwing shit at the wall hoping something sticks, and it's not necessarily something that could be lucrative. So you're just going over there on a whim. Yeah. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we're a really long way from anywhere.
I know. No one wants to come here.
No. So when I'm overseas, I do try and, you know, check in on a few people that I know, and we sort of try to hook up or whatever. And yeah, because once you're there, you got to try and do everything that you can. But I'm not there enough. I mean, the Bamboos got to go overseas in November just gone.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. But it was so full on because when you're there and if you're not working for 15 minutes, you're going backwards, you know? So, yeah, it's a hard one. I think I'll just wait. I mean, I can do it in my lounge room and then I can go shopping at Glenroy and, you know. It's so great.
I love that. Yeah, that's so cool. Just cooking up like some seriously awesome music, and then like, you know, I'm just gonna go to the shops now in Glenroy.
Yeah.
All right. What question would you like to ask our next guest?
Oh my God, this is so hard. Oh, I'm not that imaginative, you know, Luke. What am I? So that was a pretty good question of Benny's. Why wouldn't you do a gig? I always think it's really hard to be asked what your favourite gig is, so I won't do that. Okay, hey, mystery guest, if you couldn't do music, what would you do? Ooh, don't even want to think about that one. Ha ha, bad luck.
Quick, cover that one under the rug. I like to ask guests what their most recent album was that they listened to. Are you a big album listener?
Well, I used to be in a big way, but then I had all this, you know, all my kids broke all my speakers and everyone keeps on taking the thing that you plug your phone into, so I can't even listen to music in my house. So the last album that I bloody listened to, God, I don't even know. I was at my friend's house and we listened to a David Bowie album, which was when he was really young, and it was about the Kooks, you know, listening about the kids, the Kooks. I don't even know what that's called. But I just bought a really old, a $10 album, Billy Joel. Oh, yeah. You know, the Stranger. I friggin' love that album. Yeah, because cool. I like the whistling.
Is there any whistling on the upcoming album?
Oh, no. Actually, there was on the last Bamboos album, the one before this
that's
one
true.
gone.
Yeah,
the Hard Up song.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I used to whistle a lot. My friend used to tease me. I mean, I still whistle a lot. And my friend would go, oh, you'll be on my new whistling album. And then now everybody's doing it. God, I thought of that.
There's like, isn't there like, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I thought there was like a guy who was like actually a whistler. Have you ever heard like this old, you know, like a pop guy from the 60s?
Perry Como or something, was it? No?
Well, he only whistled, the guy I'm thinking of. Didn't Perry Como sing as well?
I don't know. I remember that. Yeah. Gosh. All right, we should ask the next person. Do you know who the guy is that does the whistling on the albums?
A recurring question until someone, or maybe like a kind listener could write in if it sparks a memory with somebody. Wow. Well, it's been so awesome to chat with you, Kylie.
You too.
It just feels so special because, you know, my first gigs when I turned 18, I'd go to Cherry Bar. And,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
how old are you now?
I'm now 29.
Wowee.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have been there.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
And it was like, as like an 18-year-old, like first time like going out, I was like, this is awesome. And also like I just had this massive passion for soul music. And
did you dance on the stage to like when you know, Vince and Pierre would be playing their albums and all that?
No, I didn't have that much confidence. I was the guy standing like in the back corner, just like absolutely frothing
so
it, but
cute.
like also scared of like other people noticing. That's why I like to play drums. You're right up the back.
Yeah, and you got something to hide behind.
Yeah. You don't need to be at the front getting attention. Just like have a good time.
Oh, so what band are you in?
I'm not in any bands at the moment. I was running a soul band called the Hip Streets, but it shut down pre-COVID. And now, you know, COVID's happened.
Hasn't come back?
Happened. No. Because everyone's moved overseas and done different things.
So they're off being, like, ambitious.
Yeah.
Screw them.
Ash is in Vaudeville Smash, actually, right now.
I love Ash.
Yeah.
Ash plays with me too.
Oh, does he? He's in the band. Oh.
Sometimes he does, yeah.
Because I think Gillen's
our main man, but when he's not there, like, it's Ash every
sick.
time. Yeah, he's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah, we were at uni together, so it was like sort of like the end of uni band, and then post that.
We just did Monofoma together.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and that was the last one.
That's so sad.
Oh, no, he's my favourite. I love him, and I love Gilly. Gilly is, oh my God, amazing.
He can sing on the guitar.
Wow, he can actually sing too, and he just neglects to do it for me.
Just for you, he sings with other people?
Well, he does sometimes, but like I've seen him do BVs for other people, and I'm now offended.
No, I used to play a lot, and now I haven't been playing as well. And then I got long COVID 3 years ago.
Oh, God.
And I haven't been able to work because I can't solve any problems.
Oh.
And up until like 6 months ago, I could like walk for like 10, 15 minutes and I'd be in bed for like a couple of days.
Oh, no. You're getting better?
Yeah, slowly. But that's why I started the podcast.
Good.
So I got sort of like enough energy to have conversations with people again. And then I was like, well, it's really tiring to go out.
Yeah.
So I'll save my energy for like a few gigs. But if I can get people to come and visit me,
this is winning.
Yeah. So thanks for helping me get better.
No worries. My pleasure.
That's the takeaway.
Thanks for getting better.
Well, you're welcome. We finished the podcast with 5 quick answer questions.
Oh, God. Hope I get it right.
It's okay. There's no wrong answers. So I hope I get it right with asking the questions.
Okay.
First question. What's your favourite venue to play in Melbourne?
Well, it was Cherry Bar, but that's changed now, and it's not as much fun, I don't think. Because I loved the thing that I could see Vince and he could see me and we'd hand over,
Yeah.
I love the Nightcat. The Nightcat's great, like when it's pumping, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a really special Meters gig.
That was great, wasn't it?
So I think you got stitched up with that really tricky song.
Oh, God, it's only 70,000 verses. God.
You did great.
I did not. Thank you for saying so. But it was like, I was reading the words and I'm like, I'm not learning it. I'm going to do it once. It's going to give me long COVID.
Yeah, that's one of those songs where it just goes on forever. And
It's
no one changes
interminable.
anything except for the words.
Oh, for God's sake. Let's make it hard for me. Yeah, and that Kiss of My Love, that was a bit, I love that song, but you can't really beat Tim Rogers doing it.
No. That's true. Oh, all right. So what would be your dream venue to play at?
Dream venue. Well, actually, I was thinking I did really enjoy doing the My Music Bowl as well. Dream venue. Let me think. Oh, actually, the Opera House. Hello.
Oh, have you not
I've never done the Opera House.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's make that happen.
Okay. Excuse me, Opera House. Are you listening?
Maybe one day.
Come on.
Oh, I'm so surprised you haven't done the Opera House.
No. Thanks for being surprised.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I thought that there would have been a big bamboos feature or something there.
Well, we thought about that, but that was COVID times, and we did that sort of thing just as COVID came out with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah.
But that'd be really nice if we could get to do it one day. So it's still
Opera
on
House,
the cards.
please.
Yeah, come on.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
What is your favourite place to get food after a gig in Melbourne?
Oh, goodness me. Well, it used to be sometimes that pizza place in just you can get a slice, in Brunswick Street. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't even know what's that called.
What is it called?
And we used to get, like, from up the road, we used to get souvlakis, but they wouldn't cut them in half for us, so we said, never again.
Who else wanted half a souvlaki?
My husband wanted half a souvlaki.
Oh.
I can't eat a whole one. It's 4:00 in the morning,
I thought that's just what happened anyway.
Don't. We got to make a plan to get through.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Cut it in half. I should do that with Lucy more often.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What, are you monsters?
What is your coffee order?
I don't drink coffee. I've only just started a little bit drinking coffee, and I have a long black because my husband makes it for me. He's trying to make me get addicted, but I refuse. I can't have any more vices. It's just, I think it's something that I couldn't be bothered with it. I don't want to be addicted. I can't stand it when you're at the airport and you can't find somebody because they've gone to get a coffee. It's like, for God's sake, come on, don't be weak.
Well, I don't drink coffee either, so I can judge them hard like that. But why didn't you ever start? Like, especially like gigging and touring. Like,
I know.
Everybody would be doing so many
because I was already
coffees.
drinking beer at that time.
Yeah, okay.
I can't fit everything in my mouth.
All right, final question. What's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
God, be healthier, look after yourself, and don't start drinking alcohol ever.
You don't think it helped you get where you are?
No, not at all. Well, maybe it did. I don't know. I had some pretty good fun times along the way, but I think I've probably got way too many kilos from it as well, and lost a lot of brain cells. Probably some friends. I don't think it was necessary. I think I love the way the kids are healthy these days. I think that's great. So many people not drinking, so many people doing, just being healthy. I love that. Getting out and at it and exercising. I love exercise. I always exercise.
Yeah.
Love it. So, but it's just feeling good. I think being mean, like, when you're young and you'd be a bit mean, whatever, you think it's funny, but it's not. It's like, just always be kind. I wish I could have always been kind, but I am a little bit nasty sometimes.
Well, thanks for sharing the wisdom. Not that you're that aged, but you keep saying that you're the older woman. So,
well, I have been, as I said, like I've always been in bands where I'm older than everybody. So I guess, it's always, and everybody's always asking me that question. Everyone's always saying, "What's it like being old in music?" And I'm like, well, I don't really notice it because all my favorite people are older, and I've always felt the same. So I like it. I feel comfortable. I feel like I've always been the auntie sort of thing, and it's like. It's a nice place to be. I like it because, you just feel like you're part of the family with everybody, like you're not, nobody's sort of expecting anything too much of you. I like to have low expectations, and I like people to have them of me too.
That's so interesting though, because surely people have really high expectations of you singing wise. Like,
maybe. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I just do what I do, I like that I'm allowed to just be me, and I don't have to try to be anybody else. I think that's my favourite part. And I really like not having to sing other people's songs, and I think I've become a bit lazy like that, where I don't learn covers, as you saw at the Meter show. So I'm like, oh, look, I'll just write my own song, and then I'll just sing that, and I'll probably have to read the words for that as well.
Well, things have gone downhill a bit when I come to one of your shows and you've got a teleprompter or like one of the presidential big things up on the stage.
It's a good idea.
Maybe I shouldn't be encouraging. Or maybe it will just churn out so much more good music because you're like, I don't have to memorize it anymore. So just
I'll just sing this and then we'll chuck it out and do another one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. You're such a thinking guy.
As long as I get to come and run a teleprompter so that I could just chuck in a few different lyrics just to...
just to, make me think a bit or try a bit harder.
Exactly.
Go, that wasn't part of it.
Shout out to the podcast, Drummers Musicians. And then you're like, I don't know. Give me the chorus.
They're not bloody musicians. That's what we've got bass players for, to talk to the drummer.
That is the funniest answer that I've ever had to that question so far. Can I finally ask you just about drummers, because you mentioned drummers and you've worked with some awesome drummers. Why Graham Pogson?
Have you heard him?
Yeah.
Well, he can hit it, and he hits it so hard and so neat, and also he can play so many other instruments.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When he came in and worked on my Family Tree album, he played all these different beat machines and all these different chordal instruments. Like, he's so intelligent. Like, he can do anything. So yeah, I mean, you get addicted to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like then? Changing, because you do so much with him. Like, because he plays in the Bamboos and your band, and then when another drummer comes along,
they're not going to. No. No, well, sometimes Reggie comes in and plays with me.
Yep.
And Graham's helped him to showed him what to do, and he's like, Reggie, you also have to cue your mother. I'm like, you don't have to cue me. I just make Graham do it because I'm lazy,
Nice to handball that role to somebody
he's
else.
like, you have to do that. And I'm like, nah, mate.
Yeah, do you really want to get cued from your son?
Yeah, and he's like, now. I'm like, but you do get used to it. But I mean, it's amazing what you get used to. But Graham is just so helpful in so many ways. And, he's part of the music as well. He writes with me as well. So, it's pretty hard to replace that.
Yeah. Did you run auditions before you chose a drummer?
No. I just asked, whoever would play with me, basically. Would you please play with me? I mean, Graham dumped me a few times and went off around the world with GL. And I was like, fine then. I didn't really know what to do then. I think I just had a drum machine for a bit. Yeah. Dealing with other people as well, when the music's been basically written by Graham, that when we first started that, Graham Pogson wrote, he wrote a lot of the music with me for Family Tree, and that's when Woz and I sort of started playing together.
Yep.
And so he put all the stuff on Ableton and played it for me, all the stems, and then, worked it all out like a magician. And so it was still Graham's music. And then we started writing new songs together, and I think we just got Graham to come in We had another drummer as well, Gareth. He was doing some stuff with us, which was fantastic. I'm just so lucky to be able to play with these people. I mean, and when I was in my other band, I had like I had quite a few different drummers go through that band until my friend Yuri Pavanov from the Bamboos was saying, "Oh, it's Kylie Auldist and the Dep Kings," and I was like, "Right, I've had enough of you. That's it, no more." So I was like, okay, so I'm having this band, and if everybody can't do it, well, then we're not doing it. You know, like
Yes.
as much as possible.
It makes such a big difference when you've got like a collective unit that is
Yeah.
your band, because I'm sure like it's fun playing with lots of different people, but a different experience.
It is, and you don't want to feel like it's you're taking the gig against all odds. You know, it's like, well, realistically, if you can't do it, I mean, sure, if one person can't do it, we'll think about trying to find somebody else to fill it in. But if there's more than two people, then we're not doing it.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for just giving us that extra little tidbit. That was very generous of you. So thank you, Kylie.
My pleasure.
And thanks so much for doing this podcast.
Are drummers musicians?
Listen to the podcast.
Is that the question I should have asked?
Yeah, it's I need to like find someone like a young person to just like run around and make videos like asking people, because that's like the trending thing that I've been
or
told.
Vox Pop.
But I don't have the confidence to, like you said, did I dance on the stage? Absolutely not. That's why the podcast's not being filmed. Everybody's doing video podcasts, not me.
I don't want to be filmed while I'm doing this.
No.
Goodness.
So, but I need someone with some confidence to go out and make some like promotional content for.
I think you're onto something.
All right. Thanks so much, Kylie. This has been awesome.
No, I was like, nice to talk to you.
Thanks for joining us on Our Drummers Musicians. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of another musician as much as I did. Help us grow by leaving a review and sharing the podcast with your friends, family, favourite artist, or anyone else who might enjoy it. For more info and updates, visit ourdrummersmusicians.com. See you next time.